Welcome to Awakening You channel. If you appreciate what we do, please support us. Thank you. Channel, Steve Rother greetings from home. I'm Elra of Rhythmic Service, bringing you a healthy rhythm to empower your energies. You're here at a critical time on planet Earth, dear ones. It's a very unusual set of circumstances that are all coming together now. You have war on your planet now. You've had it for some time, now and again over the years. But in this case the wars were carefully planned, because things have changed a bit. Over the centuries much has been gained by different rulers through war. In older times on Earth, they would send their armies out to kill, rape and pillage their enemies. Then the winning rulers would claim everything that remained, bringing in their own people to populate the newly seized land. You may think all that happened a long time ago, but it actually was very recently. In earlier centuries it was even considered a normal way of life, because it happened on such a regular basis. Most humans have evolved past that, but still others haven't yet. Yes, humans tend to repeat things. They have a repetition bias that causes them to recreate energies and circumstances. Bad things are accepted as normal so often on Earth, that it has even formed a template for it. Template of war. Most of you reading this are not directly involved in the wars that are taking place on Earth right now. But you're involved in a different way, because the collective will ultimately determine how far this goes. Well, that's not easy because there are many rulers who will go against the collective. They'll even go against their own people if they think they can gain something. We're saying it that way for a reason, dear ones. If you look at the wars on planet Earth right now, they're not about people. They are about governments at war using people. It's the old template returning. Many of you are here with the new templates, but you have not yet had the opportunity to activate them. Quantum entanglement. The reality is that you do have an effect on everything that happens. Why? Because for the first time, dear ones, you are well into the fifth dimension and you are connected. Unfortunately, very few know how to use this connection or even recognize that it is there. The connection will change everything, because in reality you are all an integral part of each other. You've discovered parts of this that can be validated in the study of quantum mechanics, called quantum entanglement. This is where two particles, no matter how far they're separated, are intricately entwined and move at the same exact moment. If traveling, they would be faster than the speed of light. But the particles are not traveling because they are connected and an integral part of each other. And so are you, dear ones, as you go through the veil. You come down to play this game of pretending to be a human. You make all your contracts and then start everything into motion. The awakening. When you then find yourself on Earth, you try to remember. Oh my, what am I doing here? Where am I? Who am I? And the game of learning how to be a human begins. You're actually a spirit, but suddenly you find yourself stuck inside this human body. That can be frustrating for a spirit, which is why childhood can be so challenging as a human. As your spirit begins acclimating, you try to rationalize and balance everything. The natural connection that one has to home starts to fade. It's part of the veil and the properties of the game that you wrote yourself. Oh, we know you don't think you are creator beings, but you are nonetheless. The interesting part is that when you disconnect yourself or pretend that you can't see that connection, you actually start seeing things from a different perspective. Instead of tapping into the wisdom provided by the connection to all things, one can only see from the perspective of an individual human. Often, it's here that one views something as threatening or being taken away. Without the constant connection to everything, one develops an ego and sees themselves as separate. Humans must wrestle with an ego that sometimes gets in the way. That is especially true if you're a global leader, and that's the challenge we see unfolding on Earth with the Israeli or Palestinian conflict. It is easy to think that you don't need to worry about it, because the war's happening in a different part of the world. Or maybe it feels different, because you don't believe in the same things that they do. That's all simply part of the veil, and it's very successful at hiding the connection all humans have to each other. Remember, you all are intricately tied together. When you have a thought, it becomes imprinted on the universal subconscious mind that is shared by everyone on the planet. At the moment that one of you has a thought, it's only a matter of time before the rest of you have the opportunity to experience that same thought. You are constantly pulling thoughts from the subconscious mind and bringing them into your consciousness. Yes, that is what grounds them on the planet. Can you imagine what would happen if you were able to plant the seeds of peace there instead? Some of you actually came in with that in mind, sort of like stacking the deck with positive thoughts. Anchoring peace on the human journey, spirits learn things and bring home what they've learned. Then they anchor that into their core personality. As you put the veil on each time, you do not even remember what you brought in the last time. So, it's kind of a laborious process to make any advancement as a spirit in the human form. But you're doing it, dear ones. How does that work exactly? One of the things that you can do is to start looking for the ways all humans are alike, instead of how they are different. That will allow you to see the energy lines that connect all humans, and to plant seeds of peace at the same time. Does that mean it will have an immediate reaction? No, it will take some time to fully integrate. But once it begins to move in a new direction, it will gain speed. Connecting the dots, all these things are starting to happen because of the evolution of humanity. You're beginning to see the lines of connection. And, of course, if you look in the night sky, it is a timeline. What you see in the night sky is light from 13.8 billion light years ago. So, it's kind of a time machine, isn't it? Humans have had a very limited vision, but now it's expanding. Humans have believed the universe, as you knew it, was 13.8 billion light years old. But recently humans have located a galaxy more than 32 billion light years away. It is quite beautiful to be able to look into the past that far, and to see how you work with these things. Humans are rewriting their understanding of the universe and its origins. It's clear that all particles originally connected still share that connection. But you don't actually see how the dots are connected, which is part of your lesson in coming here to planet Earth. Last timers, time after time, humans have come back to continually try to improve themselves. You improve yourself to a point and then say, you know what? I don't need that anymore. I'm done with planet Earth, but there are a few things I'd love to clean up before I move on. And so you come back in one last time, which is why we call you a last timer. There are many of you here on planet Earth right now, because you came in just to hold this energy. Of course, some even came in to be here and rock the scale. Let's go back to the night sky for a minute. Although the Big Bang Theory has been very helpful to understand the origins of the universe, it's about to be disproven by your new telescopes. What humans consider to be the Big Bang was actually a simple movement from a one-dimensional reality to another. There have been a countless number of these dimensional shifts, which were known as the in and the out breath of God. If you go back beyond the 16 billion years of the event horizon, there was a space of unity as everything passed through the dimensional shift. You'll soon find that the hole from which the universe emerged is still open and creating new stars. It's where all things are connected. You were there and a part of it. But you were also part of everything else, a physical and energetic connection to every being everywhere. It is very similar to what you have when you go home. There is a beautiful pinprick of light in the cosmos that is just starting to take over the light sky. It's absolutely beautiful. So, that's what we ask you to do. Connect these dots to try and see that you are connected to every single one of them. The energy bubble. It is helpful to keep in mind that even those who intentionally create a war on Earth are also an integral part of you, they're connected to you. But how can you send them the best possible energy? Well, there are many ways of creating energy bubbles around people. The most important part is to see the larger vision, because you're playing a new game. You haven't written all the rules yet, because you're still just figuring them out. When the new game begins to advance, those deeply invested in the old game are acting out to try and keep things from changing. Yes, eventually things will change anyway. You are here to make sure that happens, and you are doing better than you think. Know that you are loved beyond your understanding. All the eyes of the universe are on planet Earth and the beautiful beings that you call humans. Enjoy the journey, dear ones. Hold the highest in your heart and place it up in that subconscious mind. See a vision of humanity coming together and start to connect those dots. Treat each other with respect, nurture one another and play well together. Underscore 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 I am the keeper of time, dear ones, and I'm so overjoyed to be with you this day. Humanity has just received a shockwave, almost as if someone pulled the rug out from under them. The new normal has just begun, although we hope that it does not stay long. It's entirely up to you, because you are here with many of the pieces of the puzzle needed. Do you hold the answers for some of these complicated questions? Although you may not mentally hold those answers, you do hold the energy of them in your heart. If you can connect your hearts to theirs, whomever they are, you can make a huge difference. There are government leaders that don't want their people to know what they're doing. And in that way they can even use your power, sometimes using it against you. It's actually more widespread than you think. Although you probably think you live within a government that doesn't work that way, they all do to some degree. Would it surprise you to know that all wars on Earth have been created by leaders, not the people? A spirit's natural state is to harmonize and do good works. Government leaders may take that position for show, but generally they use the power for personal gain. Because you are reconnecting and integrating many of those dots to yourselves and each other, everything is starting to change. You have opportunities not only to plant seeds, but also to reap the harvest yourself by starting to plant seeds for a new life. Although many of you are complete with what you have come to do, you seem to have put a lot on your plate. For eons of lifetimes, you've been working to try and tie up all those loose ends. And now some of you are a little overwhelmed, aren't you? So, dear ones, just breathe. We will fill you with light and love at every opportunity that we have to connect with you. What you may not realize is that you also do that for us, because you are part of us. In the same ways that you are connected with each other, you are also connected with us. We adore that and make space for it at every possible opportunity. We try to nurture you to open those doors. But as you evolve, there will be those that try to take advantage of the changes happening on a very big scale. Now there are also opportunities to resolve issues that you've been dealing with for a very long time. But remember, all this is a system of balancing. If someone pushes you over here, then you have to push them back. Although we wish it wasn't that way, it's actually the collective that decides that. So, place your energy in the collective consciousness. Place into the subconscious mind what you'd like to see. Don't not be dissuaded when you don't see all the creations that you're putting out there becoming a reality. Simply trust that those can make a huge difference on your planet, because they hold a ray of light that everyone can grow into. It's an incredible time to be here, dear ones. You have reserved your space on planet Earth for quite some time and here you are. We are overjoyed at that, dear ones, because you are the magicians that can help to change the outcome of everything that's underway. You can shift the energy so that all these negatives turn into positives for you. It's very magical the way this happens, for it all starts with a thought. It begins with dream in the face of adversity, in the face of war. Dare to dream and you'll start connecting those dots, which changes everything. You are on the right path and your path is clear. Take your light, hold it high, and share it with others as you step forward. Know that you have the perfect opportunity to create something very magical. As the keeper of time, I have watched you evolve over the eons, not just on Earth but in many places. And you're starting to look behind the veil now. You're starting to see things that you've never seen before. Take these opportunities, even when facing adversity and challenges. Turn those dense energies into something magical, because that's why you came in. But please be sure to take care of those who are in need. Many are feeling all that tension and translating it into what you call mental illness. You can ease the intense challenges with love. Yes, dare to fall in love every chance you get and connect the dots. It's with the greatest of honor that I ask you to treat each other with respect. Show that respect every chance you get, nurture one another, and be sure to play well together. You're playing a beautiful game. Ispevo, dear ones. I am the keeper of time and I love you dearly. Ispevo, thank you for taking your power. The group.